Hi, I'm Randal Strock. Since I had such encouraging responses from the first story I read, I thought I'd offer you another one of these readings of stories that I've written from the past. But first, a little story about the story. In 1992, I'd been seriously writing and submitting stories to the science fiction magazines, Analog, Asimov's, FNSF, for about 5 years, and had absolutely no luck whatsoever. A couple of personalized responses, but no sales whatsoever. In 92, I'd also been working at Analog and Asimov's for about 3 years. I was the associate editor of both magazines. Working there doesn't guarantee a sale. Actually, it guaranteed an awful lot of rejections up to that point. So early in 92, one day Stanley Schmidt came into my office. Stan was the editor of Analog, and said, "So, did Pierre de Fermat actually have a wife?" Question's not as odd as it might seem at first glance, because I knew that the last story I'd given him involved Pierre de Fermat as a character, his wife as well. Well, this was in the days before the internet on every desk, so I didn't have an answer readily at hand. On my lunch break, I ran a couple of blocks to the New York Public Library, found a biography of Fermat, found the page where it listed the fact that he had indeed married his first cousin, photocopied it, brought it back, and showed Stan after lunch. Stan said, "Then I guess I'm going to buy your story." I was thrilled. It was my first sale. And in September of 1992, my first professional science fiction story appeared in Analog, entitled Fermat's Legacy. It was the winter of 1662, and Pierre de Fermat was a very angry old man. "Damn it," he cried, throwing the book across the room. "I came up with that theory first." "Which theory was that, dear?" Madame Fermat solicitously picked up the book and brought it back to him. "The calculus. I discovered the method of tangents, but does anyone say, 'Oh, Fermat, what a mathematician'? No, it's always Newton, Newton, Newton. Damn that Englishman." "Now, Pierre, you know it's not Mr. Newton's fault. Why don't you take a nap?" By this time, Fermat was really going. "What about analytic geometry? I did that too. But all they say is, 'Well, Descartes did most of the same work.' Descartes, he's nothing but a lousy philosopher." "Please, Pierre, Rene is a very nice philosopher. You're getting yourself worked up over nothing." "Over nothing? How about probability theory? Pascal and I did a lot of that work together. But who gets invited to speak at all the scientific congresses? Who gets to lecture at all the universities? Not me." "Please, dear, remember your charity to your fellow man. The judge of history will win out, and you'll be remembered as the great mathematician you are. After all, you and I know you've done all that work. History will have to remember you for all you've done." A light appeared in Fermat's eye, but his wife didn't notice. She thought her words had finally gotten through. In a way, they had. Fermat ran into his study and slammed the door. "History will remember me," he muttered. "I'll show them. If they won't accept my genius when I'm alive, let them puzzle over it after I'm gone." But how to do it? How to so turn the world upside down that his name would be remembered forever, without appearing to have done so purposely? Fermat pulled volumes from the shelves, paging through them furiously and tossing each aside as he reached for the next. Finally, his eye passed over a reference to the Pythagorean theorem, and he laughed. "That's it! If they won't remember me for what I've done, let them remember me for what I haven't done." He stumbled through the pile of books on the floor to his desk, grabbed a quill, and dipped it, and in the margin scrawled x to the n plus y to the n equals z to the n. No solution when n integer is greater than 2. Wonderful proof, no room. Note to me, write out the proof. Fermat lived 3 more years and was much more pleasant. He was generally happier, although less driven, except that he was constantly calculating equations and then throwing the papers into the fire. And Fermat made sure never to loan that book to anyone. The end. Now, this story, as I say, it appeared in September of 1992. Fermat's last theorem had been unsolved for 350 years. In June of 1993, Andrew Wiles gave a lecture in which he described solving the proof. In August, a flaw was pointed out to him, and late in 1994, he found a solution to that flaw. In May of 1995, Wiles finally published the 129-page paper that proved the theorem. However, much of the math and techniques in the proof were unknown in Fermat's time. So we're still not quite sure what Fermat thought was the proof to that wonderful little theorem. Thanks for listening.